What's up guys, welcome to Blake's Garage. So today we're going to be taking the 2017 Audi S3 and we're going to be cruising over to the Audi dealership, and this thing is going to get its first complimentary oil change. So the reason I wanted to do this video is the car, it has 9,603 miles, so we're almost at 10,000 miles, and so far this car has been great. Like, I've loved every moment of it. I can't really say anything too bad about this car. I will have that 5 things that I hate about this car coming up, but you know, besides that, these are just gonna be little things. But I haven't had any issues with the car. The car has been really good, you know, as far as no check engine lights. It's been running good. It hasn't hiccuped at all, anything like that. So that's great, you know, you would expect that. However, so today we're gonna go get our first complimentary oil change at the 10,000 mile mark. It's gonna be interesting. I wanna see how long is it gonna take, how much is it gonna cost. Hopefully I get a bill. Not too soon after this, I'm probably gonna be doing oil changes myself. So I'm gonna have to get a couple things. This car is weird for oil changes. You actually need an evacuator. People don't actually drain the oil from the oil pan itself. Another weird fact is that this oil pan is actually made of plastic, and so is the drain plug. So it's kind of weird. I'm interested to see how much this oil change is gonna cost. Hopefully they give me a little breakdown. I'm gonna guess it's in like the $300 to $400 range for this. Hopefully the RS3 will be there. I'm not really sure. Last time I was there was an RS3 in the dealership and it was pretty sick. On the RS3 notes though, guys, so let me know down below what you guys think. But do you think the RS3 is, like, body wise, do you feel like Audi did everything they could with it? Because to me, I feel like it's not that special. And by that I mean that it's not that special in the looks department. Like, yeah, the 5-cylinder motor is freaking awesome. The all-wheel drive system has been changed up a little bit. You know, the suspension has obviously been changed and that sort of thing. But all in all, like, the interior, pretty much the same. You can get the carbon options, which is awesome. I love the carbon package. That thing's freaking sick. But the exterior, like, why is Audi not doing wide bodies anymore? Like, I just remember back to the old RS4. I drove my friend Ryan's once at the autocross. That thing was sick. That was, you know, the naturally aspirated V8. That thing was badass. It had flared fenders and that sort of thing. I just really feel like in the RS world, they should really be doing some different body stuff, like some fender flares, wider tires, wider wheel arches that just make it stand out from, you know, 20 feet away. Because I kind of think that if you put the S3 and the RS3 next to each other, both sedans, you can't really, you're not going to be like, oh man, that one looks so much better. Especially like if my car had black optics package and that one didn't, you know, if the RS3 didn't, it just had like just the standard package, you would be like, the S3 looks better because of the black optics. I kind of feel like that should just be standard. I really am not a huge fan of like the silver package, right, where it's just like the basic, the windows are silver and that sort of thing. You know, it looks weird in my opinion. I think the black optics is like a must. So if you guys are buying an RS3, make sure you check that box for black optics. Seriously, like, look at that box because it just makes a world of difference. All right, let's continue, let's continue. So there it is, the RS3. So you guys can tell, obviously it's white, just like my car is white. Pretty much the same exact color. The front grille, yes, the front grille is different. You can see inside here, you can really see the intercooler down in there, so that's pretty cool. Obviously, cool intercooler. The front grille, you know, is different. Like I was saying, this one does not have the black optics dynamic package, which I really think that's kind of a must on an RS3, just because I really like piano gloss black. So for the front, it's a bit different. So like the splitter that I have would not work on the RS3 that I can see because it has a different bottom piece. What I'm talking about here, like the wheel arches, they look exactly the same. They don't look any different. The car really, from this view, Looks pretty much exactly the same as my car. The brakes, obviously these brakes are pretty awesome. This does not have the carbon ceramic, but it does have the 6-pot RS brakes. And that's pretty cool, that big old Germany badge right there. This has the Pirelli P0s on it. I really, like I've showed you guys in the past videos, I really hate these tires. See how big this curb protector is? I just think it's kind of, ugly. But that's just my opinion on it. You guys might think differently. You might like them. The tires overall, I don't think are that great for grip. They're, you know, they're good, but they're not amazing. Overall, the roof is all the same on this thing. This car does have the carbon package. Interesting fact too is that the rear brakes, these look to be the same brakes on the rear, so it's just like a 2-pot rear. So that's kind of interesting. So I guess that balances out. This is something that I don't have. This little flap. I guess that's different. I'm not even really sure what that's for. Actually, it's the first time I've even noticed that. If you guys know what that's all about, comment down below what that little flap is about. I don't really like that. I think that's kind of weird. I guess you could call it a flare. I guess, flare. So also the rear bumper, this is where you do get a bit of a difference. You know, pretty standard with some ovalized tips on the RS, whereas I have the dual tips on the back of my car. But, you know, overall up top, looks exactly the same. The wing, the lights, all that, except I don't got that awesome badge right there. So if you guys are wondering, this is a 2017 Audi RS3, and there's the price tag, $61,900, so basically $62,000. There's actually no dealer markup, which really surprises me. I thought that there was definitely going to be dealer marks up on these cars. So you can see, same color as mine, black interior that's included, the technology package, so it has the MMI, it's got the virtual cockpit, which I wish I had. Has a dynamic package, which is a must, 19-inch wheels, staggered. Okay, so we're gonna look at that tire size, because that actually does say it. Summer performance tires, red brake calipers, and sport exhaust system, and then the RS carbon inlays, so great. So that is interesting. So check this out, guys. So we're on an all-wheel drive car, 255/30 R19s in the front, and this is an all-wheel drive car. In the rear, we are running 235/35 R19s. So if you guys know all-wheel drive cars, you almost always hear you can't run staggered tires, you can't run, you know, you can't run different types of tires, all those sorts of things, because it's basically gonna throw off how the wheel spins. One wheel would spin faster, one wheel would spin slower. I'm gonna assume that they did this basically just for more front end grip. That way the rear of the car could rotate a bit more. That's my impression of this. Comment down below if you guys know any different. My other thing that I may look up, I'm gonna try to see, is the overall height of the tire. Are they actually the same rolling diameter? Like, how many revolutions does it take to get all the way around, and what the total overall height of the tire is. Maybe the profiles match up and they're pretty good. I'm curious to know, like, if you used a different type of tire, say if you used some sort of R compound like an R888 or like an NT01 or something like that, those tires usually run a little bit fatter. You don't have like this curb protector, you have a more square stance and a more square setup. I'd be curious to know how that would work with the all-wheel drive system. So if you guys know, comment down below if you guys have researched more on this. I have not. It's something that I definitely want to look into and check out. And yeah, I think it's pretty cool, because I'm just wondering, can I do that on an S3? If I can, maybe I'll try it. I would definitely like to own one of these one day. The seats are a bit different too. Perforations on the check, which is pretty cool. A4, this is an 18. A4 S-tronic. 51,000, so pretty much the same price as the S3 was. This also has black optics dynamic package, which in my opinion is a must. They get you the grille, same color mirrors and all that, and then you get the real nice black optics dynamic wheels. These look really cool. Now these are actually wrapped in a 245/35 R19, and like I was saying before, on my S3 it's a 235/35 R19, but they're the P0s, and man, these tires here, again, these look so much better. Like, see this curb protector?
that looks fine. You know, the Pirelli one, it's like so stretched and ugly. Curious to know if these wheels are actually wider. They might actually be the same exact size. I'm not quite sure, but I do like the look of these. Also, I like that they added this little Audi Sport on there. I think that that's pretty sweet. The only downside to these wheels are they are so freaking heavy, but they look really cool. And I like those Sport contacts. Those better looking tire in my opinion than the P0s. So that thing's pretty sweet. Drop your comments down below, guys. I want to know, what do you guys think about the A4 platform? Do you think it's too long now? Do you think it's too big? Do you really like it? Do you like the front? I really like the front. The new facelift I think looks really good, you know, compared to the old. There's like a 14, there's the 17 S5. Looks good. Just kind of having fun on the dealership parking lot. Thoughts on the S3 in the yellow? What are your thoughts? I think it's disgusting. Drop down below what you guys think about this thing, because man, I don't know. It's 6,000 off apparently though now, so they're trying to clear it out. And the car is $52,000. Does not have black optics, which I mean on yellow I think is an absolute must. Probably why it's still on the lot. Look, you got this. You got carbon mirror package, which is freaking sick, but then you got this, which is horrible. You got this, which is black, which looks sick, and you got that. You got blacked out wheels, and like I said, you got this, which is horrible. You have a carbon fiber wing, which looks freaking sweet. What do you guys think about this also? Let me know down below. I was thinking about doing this little ducktail lip. I think it looks pretty sweet. Yellow's just not my taste. Yellow's not my thing. And then again, on the back, we got that big old piece of aluminum. Not the biggest fan. However, if you guys have one of these, I guess more power to you. Great. I'm just not that big of a yellow fan, but like that grill kills me. It just kills me. Chrome don't get you home, guys. Chrome don't get you home. Drop a comment down below. I love the S3, but a package is not for me. Here's a sweet 16 S4. This thing's pretty nice. Obviously, it's not the new facelift, so it does have the older grille. But I mean, overall, I would definitely buy this car. This thing's freaking sick. It's got black optics dynamic package, so it has the black optics wheels. It's got the Alcantara suede inserts in the seats, the carbon on the inside. Yeah, I could definitely do that. And I like the color of that one. That aluminum on the dash, don't know if I'm a fan of that. I would want that in carbon, but besides that, it looks pretty cool. So yeah, overall, we're just playing the waiting game right now. I guess the initial cost on this service is like right around $300, so that's not as bad as I thought. I was also talking to Jet, the service manager, and he was telling me that if I want to get an oil change, just an oil change only, sooner than my next interval, it's right around $80. So that's actually not that bad at all, considering, you know, not having to buy a tool or anything like that. So that may be an option. I'm gonna look into that evacuator tool though, because it is something that I think I want to do. I'd like to throw possibly some different synthetics in there, some Raven oil, or you know, something like that, some good, real good high quality oil for track days, or you know, autocross and stuff like that, and just kind of get on a better schedule for changing this oil, because we've gone quite a few miles. I know this is what they recommend, but been pretty hard on the car, and I'd like to change the oil a bit more. Alrighty, all cleaned up, ready to go. Alright guys, so oil has changed. It's about 10:05. Got here around 7:30. Had a couple extra inspections going on because one of my brake rotors had a bit of a groove in it. It must have had like a rock in it at some point or something like that. So kind of got that checked out just to make sure nothing bad was going on there. Everything seemed to be fine. I didn't notice any like braking effects or anything like that, anything weird, any noises, but just something visually that I saw. Not a warranty thing because it's like an obstruction or whatever, which is totally fine, and that's totally, you know, understandable. Things get in there. It's probably like a rock on the freeway or something like that to just put a slight little groove in the rotor. No big deal. I'm sure we'll turf out these brake pads shortly, maybe with some more track and autocross events for sure coming up in the future. So overall, the oil change I guess would be right around Well, for the first inspection, if you didn't have that included, it would be right around like $300. I guess the next inspection, which is right around 20,000 miles, is I think it's right around 500 bucks. So, you know, if you guys are just kind of curious as to what the pricing is on service on these, I guess that's right around where it's at. They have a thing called Audi Care, which sounds just like Apple Care. I may end up doing that. I had something like that on my Subaru before. Kind of hated it, kind of wish I didn't pay for it, but if I can actually get a laid out plan of like how much each and every service is going to cost, and it is actually cheaper, which is what they're saying, then I may just go with that next time that I need to do the service. So very cool overall, still loving this car. It's super fun, really cool. I hope you guys enjoyed kind of checking out the RS3 and some of the other cars on the lot. Drop down below what your favorite Audi, or like, you know, what car you would buy if you had X amount of dollars, I guess, or what car you're looking at. What you guys think about the RS3? Yeah, I think that'd be cool. So we'll talk to you guys soon. Later, and wrench on.